Hello again. Let's keep on working on the questions. This is the second part. We shall start from the question 34, of course. In anaerobic glycolysis, the oxidized NAD plus is regenerated by. Think of anaerobic glycolysis. When we say anaerobic glycolysis, at the end of glycolysis by itself is anaerobic, then further anaerobic process is fermentation, of course. Anaerobic glycolysis, the oxidized NADP is regenerated in order for glycolysis to keep on moving, generating that 2 ATP. The NADH that has been reduced in the process of glycolysis should be oxidized. The oxidized NAD plus is regenerated. How do cells obtain NAD plus? They have to unpack NADH, just unpack hydrogen electron from NADH so that NADH will be converted into NADP so that glycolysis can continue. Therefore, glycolysis, the oxidized NAD plus is regenerated by A. Reducing lactate to pyruvate, B. Oxidizing pyruvate to lactate, C. Reducing pyruvate to lactate, D. Reducing NAD-A through electron transport, E. Both A and B. The answer here is NADP plus is regenerated when NADH gives its electron and hydrogen to pyruvate. Adding hydrogen electron to pyruvate is reduction, it's not oxidation. Therefore, reducing pyruvate. When pyruvate receives electron hydrogen, it becomes lactate, as it happens in lactic acid bacteria in our muscles, lactic acid fermentation, we call it. Therefore, the answer is C. Question 35. You can see I do have for you a diagram here. Glucose changes to pyruvate. Pyruvate adds NADH. NADH gives its electron hydrogen to become NAD plus, which means NADH is oxidized by reducing pyruvate into lactate. You see? This is what we call lactic acid fermentation. 35. Immediate chemical transformation of one of the following molecules in glycolysis will lead to substrate level phosphorylation. You remember? Glycolysis, substrate level phosphorylation, two places. This is exactly this one. You remember, 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate is highly energetic when it converts into 3-phosphoglycerate by giving the phosphate at carbon number 1 to ADP. ATP is produced by substrate level phosphorylation. Let me bring that diagram here. You can see here, you can see this molecule, 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate is converted into 3-phosphoglycerate, and there is synthesis of ATP by substrate level phosphorylation. You see, therefore, the answer is A. Question number 36. The energy generated due to the flow of electrons in one of the following components of mitochondrial etc. is not coupled to pumping of protons into the intermembrane space. We do have 4 complexes. Of course, ATP synthesis is also considered sometimes as complex. We call it complex 5. Therefore, the question is the energy generated due to the flow of electrons in one of the following components of mitochondrial electron transport chain is not coupled to pumping of electrons. It doesn't have pump. Which complex? We know much. Complex 2. Complex 2. What's unique about complex 2 doesn't have, is not associated with any pump, hydrogen pump. It doesn't have. This is the only complex which do not have. Out of the 4, complex 2 is the only without hydrogen pump, to pump hydrogen from the matrix into the intermembrane space to build proton motive force. You see, the complex 2 is also the enzyme, that works, that has also its hand in citric acid cycle. The only enzyme, you remember, succinyl dehydrogenase, which helps in the production of uh, FADH2 when succinate is transformed into fumarate. This is the enzyme. Complex 2 is also enzyme of citric acid site, the only enzyme which is found embedded in the membrane. The others are found in the matrix. We shall come. I do have asked you one question related to this. Of course, the answer is complex 2, which do not generate. You can. Question number 37. The correct sequence of organelles in which glycolate and glyoxylate are produced sequentially in photorespiration is: glycolate first is produced in the chloroplast, of course. Glyoxylate is produced in the peroxisomes. Chloroplast, peroxisome, this order. Therefore, this is the answer. I think you can show if I don't have diagram. Yeah, I don't have diagram here. You can see here. This is chloroplast, then my peroxisome. You see, glycolate is produced here in the chloroplast. It moves to peroxisome. Inside the peroxisome, glycolate changes into glyoxylate, then into glycine. Glycine moves to mitochondria. Therefore, the answer is B. The purpose of the citric acid cycle includes all but one of the following. Which one is it? The exception. A. Oxidation of dietary carbon to CO2. Dietary carbon means food molecule like protein, amino acids, carbohydrates like glucose, or the byproduct of glucose. Oxidation of dietary carbon to CO2, supplying NADH to the electron transport chain for oxidation and production of ATP, supplying FADH2 for the same purpose as B, D, excretion of nitrogen, E, a source of oxaloacetate for gluconeogenesis. Exactly. Citric acid cycle is the central of metabolic pathway. It is not simply only the energy production pathway. You see, from citric acid, if you take the oxaloacetic acid, is the first and the end in the cycle, the starting and the ending. Oxaloacetic acid, if there is enough energy, enough ATP in the cell, oxaloacetic acid can be used to produce phosphoenol pyruvate, which is one product of the glycolysis. Phosphoenol pyruvate moves upward, up the reverse of glycolysis to produce what? Glucose. When glucose is produced from non-carbohydrate sources, this is known as gluconeogenesis. Therefore, Krebs cycle can give its oxaloacetate for the formation of glucose. Especially when our blood glucose level is very low. This is stimulated by the hormone glucagon. You see, therefore, the answer is of course clear. Mitochondria is not directly related. I mean, citric acid cycle is not directly related with nitrogen excretion. It's not directly related with nitrogen excretion. Okay, nitrogen excretion, the form of ammonia by forming urea cycle. It's a separate cycle, of course. You can come to this. Briefly, let me show you this. You see, oxaloacetic acid. Oxaloacetic acid can oxaloacetic acid can come out of mitochondria. Of course, it can't pass out of the inner membrane. The problem of oxaloacetic acid is it can't come out of the matrix or the mitochondria. It can't pass the inner membrane, but it can change to malate. Oxaloacetic acid changes into malate by malate dehydrogenase. Malate can pass, go to the cytoplasm. After malate goes out of the matrix or the mitochondria into the cytoplasm, in the cytoplasm, malate again changes into oxaloacetate. Oxaloacetate then changes into phosphoenol pyruvate. Phosphoenol pyruvate changes into all those upward products, the upward process of glycolysis, you remember. Therefore, finally, to give what? Glucose. What do you call it? Gluconeogenesis. Therefore, yes, it is a source of oxaloacetate for gluconeogenesis. Why? The other is it produces NADH. Yes, NADH. From 1 acetyl-CoA, 3 NADH, and 1 FADH. Yes, it supplies for electron transport system. Therefore, everything is right. Supply FADH, yes. Oxidation of dietary carbon, yes. Finally, when carbon grows, is broken down acetyl-CoA, you see, it is removing carbon in our food molecules, being removed as carbon dioxide at this position. Decarboxylation is there. There is also decarboxylation, I think, here, and also one carbon dioxide is removed here, and also link reaction also removes carbon dioxide, you see. Therefore, now citric acid cycle, oxidation of dietary carbon to CO2 is the service of this citric acid cycle, and the answer is excretion of nitrogen is not the purpose of citric acid cycle. Now, question 39, electron transport system produces metabolic water, is composed of series of enzyme complexes in the inner mitochondrial membrane, is the actual site of cellular respiration that consumes O2, leads to stepwise production of redox energy that is used for unidirectional pumping of protons from the matrix into the intermembrane space. All of the above are true statement. Exactly. Look, electron transport system produces metabolic waste. Yes, when finally oxygen accepts electrons, it adds hydrogen and produces what? Water. Yes. 2 is composed of series of enzyme complex. Yes, complex 1, 2, 3, 4. These are enzyme complexes in the inner mitochondrial membrane, what we call electron transport system. C is the actual site of cellular respiration that consumes. Yes, this is the electron transport system, is the place where oxygen is consumed, because the electrons, after they jump downhill, finally the final acceptor is oxygen. D leads to stepwise production of redox energy that is used to, you see, redox energy means electrons jumping from high energy level to low energy level, releasing energy. That energy is used for unidirectional, one directional pumping of protons from where to where? From the matrix into the intermembrane space. Exactly. And the answer is really this one. Okay, 40. The crucial link between electron transport system and ATP synthesis is, what do you think? The crucial link. The crucial link between electron transport. You see, electrons are transported along electron transport system. There is ATP synthesis. What link is this? The deposition of proton motive force in the intermembrane space. You see, electrons jump, they release energy. That energy is used to pump H plus into the intermembrane space from the matrix. Therefore, it's building proton motive force. When these protons finally come through the canal in ATP synthase, they activate the catalytic role of the ATP synthase, which serves as phosphorylating enzyme, which is it adds phosphate into ADP to produce ATP. Therefore, the crucial link between electron transport system and ATP synthesis is the unidirectional pumping of protons from the mitochondrial matrix to the intermembrane space. The unidirectional pumping electron, we should not go further, from the mitochondrial matrix to the intermembrane space. It is this pumping of, what are pumped are the protons, not electrons. Therefore, the answer with no much ado is this one. The other side. The pumping of electron from intermembrane space to mitochondrial matrix. It says the reverse direction. Forget about the others, please. This is it. You can see the diagram. You see, these are electron transport. Complex 1, 2, 3, 4. Cytochrome and coenzyme Q is there, ubiquinol. Coenzyme Q, mobile part. This and these are mobile parts. Cytochrome C and coenzyme Q. The others are complexes. This has pump, this has pump. You see, 4 hydrogens are removed from the matrix into intermembrane space due to the energy released from 2 electrons. This one has no pump. This one also equal energy, equal hydrogens are deposited. This one 2 hydrogen per time. It pumps. You see, therefore, building proton motive force here. Pumping. They are pumping. Pumping means they are depositing. There is already high amount of H plus here. Very acidic here. Therefore, they are taking protons from where they are found in low concentration, where they are found in high concentration. You see, still this high concentration is coming through this canal, activates this catalytic knob. ATP plus ATP is produced, ADP. Okay, this question, citric acid cycle, question number 41, generates 3 NADH and 1 FADH molecule in one round. One round means when we are using one acetyl CoA. Yes, 3 NADH, 1, 2, 3, and 1 FADH. Yes. Involved substrate level phosphorylation. Yes, citric acid cycle has this step. When succinyl CoA changes to succinate, there is substrate level phosphorylation. GTP produced, which is changed immediately into ATP. C is a major pathway that provides radius coenzymes to the electron. Yes, radius coenzymes, NADH and FADH. Yeah, to electron. D, rate diminishes with increasing cellular ATP concentration. Yes, when ATP concentration in the cell is high, ATP itself is used as allosteric inhibitor of some of the enzymes of the citric acid cycle, so that the rate of citric acid cycle decreases. The metabolic pathway working is decreased when ATP is too much. The end product inhibition. You see, enzyme end product inhibition. Therefore, true. All of the above are exactly. Question number 42. This enzyme of the citric acid cycle is part of the electron transport chain or complexes. What is the enzyme and the complex to which it belongs to? The enzyme is, I have told you already, succinyl dehydrogenase. And the complex it belongs is complex 2. Do you have the succinyl dehydrogenase here? No. Therefore, this question, if any student corrects and gives me correction and gives the answer, the right answer, I will give him bonus 5 marks bonus plus 5 plus 5 mark bonus. Any student I will give. Otherwise, there is no question. Answer. The answer should be succinyl dehydrogenase, which changes succinate into fumarate, and also reduces fat into FADH2 this time. It is part of the complex 2 complex. Therefore, this is it. I've given you description succinate dehydrogenase, also known as complex 2. Question number 43. The production of alcohol or lactate from pyruvate during dash occurs as a means of regenerating dash from dash, it says. The production of alcohol or lactate from pyruvate during fermentation, that anaerobic process is known as fermentation, occurs as a means of regenerating NAD plus from NADH. Therefore, the answer is fermentation, NAD plus, NADH. This is the answer. 44. The 3 boxes in this diagram represent the 3 major biosynthetic pathways. Look, this. pathway in aerobic respiration. Arrows represent net reactant or product. Arrows number 4, 8, and 12 can all be, you see, three major biosynthetic pathways. It says biosynthetic pathways. Okay, glycolysis here in aerobic respiration. This one is citric acid cycle, and this is electron transport system. The three major. Okay, you have to understand that way. When we talk about aerobic respiration, we are talking about cellular respiration, aerobic. What are the stages? The major stage: glycolysis pathway, of course, glycolysis, citric acid cycle, and electron transport system. Therefore, what is the question? The three boxes in this diagram represent the three major biosynthetic pathways in aerobic. Arrows represent net reactant or product. Arrow number 4, 8, 12 can all be, you see, arrow number 4, 8, and 12 output common for all this pathway. Is water product here, the three? No, water is not common for all these three pathways. It is produced here, of course, as output. It is produced here in the electron transport system. FADH2 only produced in citric acid cycle here. NADH2 is produced in glycolysis citric acid cycle, but not in electron transport chain. ATP, of course, the answer is ATP. All this produces ATP by substrate level phosphorylation. This produced by substrate level phosphorylation. This by oxidative phosphorylation when electrons jump. You can see here, glycolysis produces ATP, citric acid cycle produces ATP, electron transport system also produces ATP. The total amount of ATP molecule that would be obtained from pyruvate through its mitochondrial oxidation, Krebs cycle, and oxidative phosphorylation is just pyruvate. Just one pyruvate. When pyruvate changes into acetyl-CoA, one NADH is produced from one pyruvate, one NADH. One acetyl-CoA produces 3 NADH and 1 FADH. Totally 4 NADH, 1 FAD, H2, and also 1 ATP by substrate level phosphorylation. Therefore, change 4 NADH and 1 FADH2 into energy. 1 FADH2 is 2 ATPs, 1 NADH2 is 3 ATPs, 3 times 4, 12, 12 plus 12, yes, 4 NADH, 3 in the citric acid cycle, 1 in link reaction. 4 NADH means 4 times 3, it is 12. Okay, 12. Then 1 FADH means 2 plus 12, 14. And 1 ATP is produced by substrate level phosphorylation in citric acid cycle, and the answer is therefore totally 15 ATP molecules are produced. When does the Calvin cycle occur in a CAM plant? Calvin cycle occur in a CAM plant. When does the Calvin cycle occur in a CAM plant? Of course, whenever there is light, of course, during the day. Calvin cycle occurs during the day, because for carbon fixation you need, for sugar synthesis you need the products of the light reaction. During the night time, they take open stomata and they take carbon dioxide and store it in their vacuum in the form of malic acid. Question number 47. Why is photophosphorylation not a problem for C4 and CAM plants? It says they use another protein, Pepsi, to pick up carbon dioxide and deliver it to rubisco. Yes. They grow in environments where there is little oxygen. No. They protect their chloroplast from excessive light with, no. This is the answer, please. Exactly. Okay, question number 48. What is the primary reason CAM plants are predicted to have slower growth compared to C3 and C4 plants? Of course, the problem of water. They are desert plants, scarcity of water, of course. They require more water for photosynthesis. Question number 49. What is the primary function of PEP carboxylase in C4 photosynthesis? To convert 4 carbon compounds back to CO2, to catalyze the reaction between CO2 and PEP. Of course, definitely phosphoenol pyruvates reacted with carbon dioxide. This is the answer. What is different about mesophyll cells in the C3 and C4 plants? The C3 mesophyll cells are surrounded by an upper and lower epidermis, and the C4 mesophyll cells are not. X. CO2 is fixed into S3 carbon sugar and continues in the Calvin cycle in C3 mesophyll cells. CO2 is fixed to a 4 carbon sugar in C4 mesophyll cells and transported to bundle sheath cells, where CO2 is released in order to proceed through the Calvin cycle. This statement is the statement that is correct, of course. In C3 mesophyll cells, CO2 is fixed to form 5 carbon sugar. No, forget it. There is no difference in mesophyll 4. There is difference, of course. The answer is B. 51. Explain how CAM plants differ from C4 plants in their approach to carbon fixation. CAM plants fix carbon during the day, while C4 plants no. C4 plants use PEP carboxylase for carbon fixation, whereas CAM plants do not. No, they both use PEP carboxylase. CAM plants open their stomata at night to absorb CO2, while C4 plants fix CO2 in mesophyll cells. CAM plants open their stomata at night to absorb CO2, while C4 plants fix CO2 in mesophyll cells. No, CO2. That is the primary fixation they are talking. Both CAM and C4 plants fix carbon in the same manner. Yes, of course. Oxaloacetic acid, malic acid, then same manner. Okay, first. 52. Oxygen evolution is directly associated with which photosystem, please? Photosystem 2. C4 plants reduce photorespiration by performing photosynthesis only at night using Rubisco in mesophyll cells, fixing CO2 in mesophyll and releasing it in bundle sheath cells, of course. Spatial difference, yeah. This is the answer. Question 54. What is the result of light energy absorbed by photosystem 1? Photosystem 1. It energizes an electron that transfers to ferredoxine, which causes protons to leave the lumen. No. It loses electrons that are replaced by water. No. It energizes an electron that transfers to ferredoxine, which then forms exactly NADH. NADP is reduced. Now, question number 55. A main part of the light-independent reaction, the Calvin cycle, involves 3 main steps. A main part of the light reaction, the light-independent. This include dash, reduction, and regeneration. What is the answer? Of course, the first is carbon fixation, reduction, and regeneration, or RUBP. What provides the energy for the light-independent reaction? A. Sunlight. B. ATP from neighboring mitochondria. C. NADPH and ATP from the light. Of course, these are the raw materials for dark reaction to continue. Carbon fixation binds a carbon dioxide molecule to a 5-carbon compound known as ribulose bisphosphate. Of course, 5-carbon keto sugar, phospholytic keto sugar, ribulose bisphosphate. Or strictly speaking, ribulose 1,5-bisphosphate, of course. Thank you very much. This is the end of that second part of answering the final questions. Thank you. Bye bye.